He's an incredible guitarist that we're going to hear now. And his trajectory goes a long way. Did you guys, any of you see the movie Encanto?
Me? Yes.
Okay. Did you like the music? Gorgeous, huh? He is behind that creation. Oh, so we have here in this room, in this moment, an Oscar winner and a Grammy winner because he was part of the team of the creation of that music. So we are very proud of having Gabriel here. Later in that intermission, I'm going to ask a few questions and do it like a little bit interview style, because that's what we want to do with this type of works. It's very kind of academic. I want to tell you things, and you guys feel free to ask questions. So we will talk more about Gabriel. And we have Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, I just follow him. I picked him up, I started seeing what he was doing in the internet. I saw a little bit of the post that they did because he was one of the participants of Canada Got Talent. And I saw what he was doing and I said, I want to bring this here to the North. And we will talk more about him and what he did. But what I find very important is that art has taken another dimension. It's opening in new possibilities, new directions, creating or combining medias, making things in a different way. That doesn't mean that traditional painting and sculpture and all that is not important. Yes, it is important. We keep doing it. It's very beautiful. But the more we open our hearts and our eyes to other medias and incorporate those medias and bring those medias into the gallery, it brings different possibilities to artists. And it gives also the aval and the respect for certain type of artists that are very difficult for them to get to places. A performance artist like Matt, some people don't take it completely clear that it's an art expression. And I find it absolutely an art expression, like it is figure skating, like it is other medias. So why not presenting somebody like Matt Ryan into a gallery space? I think it's absolutely a yes. It's a person that is using his own body almost as a sculpture. And when we will see him spinning on the air, it's basically, if you freeze any of those moments, it's almost like you're seeing one of those beautiful sculptures from the classical period into something else. So no further ado, we'll leave you first with Gabriel, and we'll do the performance and we'll take it to the back. Thank you.
First, we'll start with the composition. I have a beginning to this of flamenco, because in my blood I have an heritage of that. Then I'm trying to find one of the rhythms of the flamenco style is tangos. Tangos is non-familiar, but you will see the palmas like that. That will create an ambient mood, and it's very freely. Then I create this that after that, the first movements of our mat. Then enjoy it.
thought about it, but this is the first time that we put it together. I need to thank Andrea Oliveira. Andrea Oliveira is an artist from Brazil. She lives and works in Campinas, Sao Paulo. And what she did is that she took all her paintings. I really like her work. I brought the work to Melissa and I said, look how beautiful this work is. We are probably thinking in the future we can do something with her here. But we said, why not give her the chance to create the ambience for this performance. So what Andrea did is she took her own paintings and part of the installation and used this to digitalize all the work and make it into kaleidoscope style, which is absolutely beautiful. So,
So just in the same way, sorry to interrupt, but in the same way that we've sort of blended these three individual artists together to, I think, create something incredible, something that you won't see anywhere else. We certainly couldn't do the things that we do without the support of our own community. Like I said, Cesar, both as a tag director and as the head of the Kirkland Lake Contemporary Arts Council, brings a lot to this region, but our other partners, including Pied Piper Kids Shows, who are here tonight, and the Centre Culturel Artem help make these things possible, as well as our many volunteers and everyone who works tirelessly behind the scenes, especially Jasmine Ryle, who sorry, that was my bit of official business.
we have, is Pied Piper going to talk?
Yes, Candy from Pied Piper would like to speak with you for
So
a
we'd
minute
like
while
to
you're
give her a moment, while we give a moment for Matt to catch up his breath, and then we talk here.
Thank you.
You want to use the mic?
Certainly.
We don't normally have such luxuries. So
I think you need to come closer.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to Pied Piper for the support.
It's a pleasure. It's good to have a number of arts organizations working together in the area. And I'd like to acknowledge one of our board members, Chanel Gambles, who's sitting at the front here. A lot of the programming that you're seeing coming this year has been due to our very fine work. And we truly appreciate having board members that have been able to keep us going. Pied Piper has been active for 44 years, and I see a face in the area behind you here that could speak to that beginning. We are blessed to have 3 shows still coming for the next session here. One of them is coming from Quebec. It's the Merrymakers Band here, and they will do a fabulous job of doing a bilingual presentation with us. The group that is coming just next Friday is a Fred Parent kind of performer, and I think you're going to find him very engaging. If a person's thinking of being in the arts, I think he would be a fine example of your selling your personality and your creativity in order to send the message along, just the way Mr. Dressup did. The last show in the performance is going to be a ventriloquist. We've never had a ventriloquist in all these 44 years with puppets, so this will be fun. My shout out to you as well is that our programming has been put together so you could have a small one, or you could come as a mature adult and enjoy a fabulous live entertainment performance right here in your own community. It's not a large expenditure of time or money. We are beggars, we are not fundraisers. We are supported by the tax dollars, and we're also incorporated. So, coming into this next season that we'd like to continue Pied Piper into season number 45, we're revamping the board. We've got 3 positions available in this incorporated board, and we would love to talk to you or anyone that you are interested in sending our direction so that we can continue for another 44 years. There are 3 meetings a year, and if we could make that 2, we would make it 2. It's a very small time commitment from a meeting perspective. We do a lot of our work online, and we've been trendsetters both provincially and federally for programs that we put on. So Piper is often the go-to group that you would ask if you want to do something different. We hope that we see you and we see some of your community members at the shows and on our board. Thank you so much for bringing this wonderful talent in. It's a joy being here.
Thank you very much, Gabriel Piper. Thank you. I really love it. I don't know what I love more, the casting of the colors on his body or the shadows that I was seeing in the back. It was absolutely gorgeous. Gabriel specializes, I don't know if that's the right word, but his work fits into something that is called the fingerstyle guitarist. Can you tell us what that is?
Okay. Your style is a style that combines all different genres of music: classical, flamenco, pop, rock, a little bit of world music, a little bit of contemporary music, percussive. It's a combination of different rhythms and genres into one instrument. The guitar was tuned since 1800s in a romantic manner that is E minor 11. And when you change that tune, the tuning to another one makes this instrument a different one, because to tune to relearn everything, you change all the keys. And not tuning E minor, tuning D or C, sus or whatever. Then the instrument gives an energy and a feeling completely different. And you will create new music with that. There's a bunch of people like me that try to create with that music, new music, and my goal is to find the way to combine this style with my country music, that is Colombia, that is rich in rhythms. Then my next piece is one rhythm in the Pacific, name is Agua Bajo. Agua Bajo is a Pacific rhythm, comes from Africa. This place is very unknown, and I try to combine the rhythm with the finger style. The guitar that is recorded is tuning these songs to this different tune, and I will improvise over the rhythm and over the finger style. Very jazzy manner. That is the fusion of the different things. That's my style. Hope that you enjoy it, please.
Here we go with Matt. Matt, I'm sure that everybody's curious to know what makes you decide to do pole dancing? That's one thing. And the other thing is, really, what is all the preparation that you have to do the type of work that you do? I'm sure that it's not only practicing on the pole. I'm sure that there has to be a lot of gym training, a special diet, a special type of habits and of living habits, the places where you perform, etc., etc.
So my background, I was an international level gymnast. I was the Canadian national champion when I was 17 years old, and that was for gymnastics. And I burned out at a very young age. I had a lot of, looking back, I wasn't really cut out for elite level sports. I was physically gifted, but up here at the time, me in a very high stress environment didn't really work very well. And I had a big burnout, something that I did love growing up as a child, turned into something I hated. So I packed that part of my life away. I did my education in kinesiology, so I have a master's degree in kinesiology. And then 10 years after I finished my gymnastics career, I just had this opportunity, a really kind of strange chance opportunity. It was a fundraiser for go figure, mental health awareness, and it was called Spinning with the Stars. So it was a parody of Dancing with the Stars. So they paired this was in Halifax, that's where I was born and raised. So they paired a person who was well-known in the community, I was a well-known fitness trainer, with a pole dancer, and we practiced for a month, and then we put on this show. And the first time that I entered the studio and I touched the pole, I was like, okay, this is my life now. But at that time, I still was not very good, my mental health was not very good at all. I was very erratic, not very emotionally stable. And something about this activity, within a month of starting, I was just completely leveled emotionally. And I think it has to do a lot with the artistic component. So embracing myself as an artist. Because gymnastics, it's very it's called artistic gymnastics, but it's very rigid and by the rules and high pressure. Whereas this, it was just something creative and it was physical and you can put your emotions into it, and it just happened that all of my skill set that I had developed as a child blended perfectly with this other outlet where I could combine the physical and the emotional, and it just clicked for me, and I was hooked right away. And within 3 months, I had decided that, okay, I'm going to just quit my normal life and I'm going to become a professional pole dancer. I packed up all of my stuff and I moved to Montreal, and I never looked back.
Wonderful. Congratulations. So Gabriel is going to do now one other piece. We give Matt a little moment to stretch again and get ready for his next piece. Okay?
hard to say because I have a recording studio and I always recording for artists, producing music. But it's every day, every time, 38 different instruments, and from Wednesday to Sunday, always shows. Then I have rehearsals for every rehearsal for different type of shows. Then I think I wake up with the guitar. and I'm going to sleep with the guitar. It's hard to keep my strength and also the responsibility in every step because I play flamenco, classical, rock. And try to be in shape. It's all my life for 40 years.
What do you do to prepare your body to stay in good shape? Do you do yoga?
I do yoga, and I think it's 35 years. I have back problems with always my guitar here, my back, traveling. Then I just find that the only way is yoga because acupuncture I try everything. The only way to keep your strength for me is yoga. Meditation, I do meditation.
Let me bring the microphone to Matt. Matt! I'm not going to hold the microphone now for you. What about you? What do you need to do to stay and to keep it? I'm sure that the level of injury or the possibility of injury for you is pretty high.
So I basically spent the last, I was a gymnast from when I was 2 years old, and from 2 until 38, I had like 0 problems injury-wise. I've just been very lucky, and I didn't have to stretch. All I had to do was train on pole, and my body was like fine. But eventually, behaving like that catches up with you, and you get an injury. Because as you probably see, pole is very asymmetric. So you're often only doing things on your better side. So I had a hip injury the last 1.5 years. It's gotten a lot better. It's gotten to about 85%. But since then, I really had to focus on my training outside of pole, and specifically balancing both sides of my body. So doing exercises that use both sides equally to compensate for the asymmetry that happens all the time when especially when I'm just performing a lot, because you never perform you usually only do the skills that look the best, and that's like on your good side. So I really had to focus on that. And yes, yoga, stretching has become kind of integral. I stretch for about 1 hour a day. I train on pole for about 1.5 to 2 hours per day. And on the weekends, that's when I perform. And that can be very physically demanding because I could be doing between 6 and 7 5-minute shows in a night. So basically what you just saw times like 3 or 4. So it's a lot of physical activity, but I've always been somebody who thrives on moving more. So I like it.
So you spoke really bravely, I think, about a lot of the anxiety and the mental health problems that you dealt with. And being an extreme sort of athlete as a child. So if you had advice for children, I think especially coming out of the pandemic, we're seeing, a great emphasis on mental health, especially in children. So if you had advice, or what would you tell kids?
Do something creative. Something without rigid rules and structure where you get a physical component, but you also get that artistic and creative outlet as well. Circus, for example. I wish that I had not been a high-level elite athlete and I had gone into the circus arts at a much earlier age, because it fosters uniqueness. Like uniqueness is embraced, whereas gymnastics, you're chasing an archetype. You're chasing a theoretical gold standard, whereas in the circus arts, you can be whatever you want to be. And if you're unique, it's all the better. So I would say guide children into those things that foster the creative and the artistic outlets, as opposed to strictly competition. Yeah. No, and especially, I'm blanking on your name.
Candy?
Yeah, Candy. So I really think that kind of thing is a really good organization, just because it's giving an opportunity for kids to have a creative outlet, to see the creative arts, to see the possibilities. And I wish I had seen a little bit more creativity in my younger years. It's not my parents' fault. I just happened to fall into being good at gymnastics at an early age and got streamlined into the competitive aspect of it. But fostering a creative environment early on, I think, is really, it will bode better for the children than putting them in elite level sports.
Anybody have a question? Comments? Well,
There's one from Jasmine.
I'll just speak on that. What complications do you find from a freestanding pole as opposed to one that's like bolted to the ceiling and doesn't move?
Because you gave me a heart attack. I have to say, I was so worried you were going to fall.
So you get used to it, and I'm very used to performing on the freestanding pole. I know it moves, and I was lucky, unlucky, I'm not sure. During the pandemic, when everything shut down, I had a freestanding pole, and so the government was paying us to stay home, so I just wheeled my pole to the park every single day, and I just practiced on this thing that moved. So I don't really notice it anymore. But I do like the spin better on a pole that spits to the ceiling, because you don't lose as much momentum with the movement of the pole. But this is convenient because you can take it anywhere. It's really heavy. It's really heavy, and I think Eric can attest to this. It's heavy and it's a pain to get into and out of cars, but it's very useful.
Well, before I move there, I want to ask for a special clap to my son.
Yes.
He worked very hard this week, and that's why after working the whole week, he does works with a company that does installations for events. He finished working in Ottawa, drove to Montreal, and they packed all this equipment last night, and then they drove from 5 a.m. in the morning until now. So thank you very much.
Quick question, 2 parts. One, for you, I was just curious if you explored the silks and what your experience was with that, as that's very much in the circus realm, but it has similarities. And my second question is for both of you, if you want to speak to your collaborative exploration in preparing for this. Perhaps you were in 2 different spots working on Zoom, I don't know, but I'm sure we'd all love to hear about your process.
Okay, this is our first experience. For a couple months, I tried to imagine movements, the ambient, the things that just give us. And I tried to create music, try to find the perfect way to express it. Then we are now experimenting the moments, the endings, the moments for everyone. Try to follow the movements from the guitar. But I think it's now starting. Tomorrow we have another one, and I think it will be better than today, because we're just meeting, and I think it's a good combination, because I try to not be very lead in my music group when he performs, and try to give space to him. We are in the moment to create that.
I think he is the harder job because I'm used to just showing up and like dancing to whatever they present to me, and just trying to follow the music and dancing with your heart. So if like the music, if it touches you, it's easy to move with that. So he has it a little bit more difficult because he had to like conceptualize what the music that he's playing is going to fit my movement, but I just kind of show up and I move. But we had a meeting on Zoom to discuss what we were going to do, and then he sent us samples of the tracks that we were going to be doing today. So I listened through those a couple of times, and then you kind of get the feeling for it, and then I have a set number of combinations or skills that I do, and they're pretty easy for me, so I can just kind of fit my movements to suit the music. And as far as silts, not for me. With pole, I like it because I'm either on the pole or I'm off the pole. Like, if something goes wrong, I can just like jump off, and then, but with silts, it's a lot of like tying, and you're kind of like winding yourself up and like dropping yourself down, and I have terrible ADHD, and I would be scared that I wouldn't be paying attention to like the amount of times that I wrapped myself and something would go wrong, and I just don't like being tied. I've tried it a few times, and it didn't feel really comfortable for me, but I do flying pole. So I do aerial pole from the ceiling and like get hoisted really high, and that's not really something you want to be on or off. But I just don't like being like tied into stuff.
We just want to improvise and last thing from you guys.
For practice.
It's not a verb, but we don't want to give you guys a little improvisation. A new thing that we could just create.
Well, thank you, Gabriel. We need to thank again the Gabriel Gallery. Please tell everyone that we need your support. The Gabriel Gallery exists because of the community, and it's for the community. We need everybody to help us to stay on our feet. Anything else that you want to say?
One more plug, I guess. So tomorrow night we are hosting our annual general meeting. If you're interested in coming, I know I see a lot of familiar faces that I'm sure I'll see tomorrow night as well. Candy has a wonderful selection of the handouts that show all of the Pied Piper shows for the season. So you can take that home and make a note on your calendar. As well, the Contemporary Arts Committee of Kirkland Lake is hosting their annual gala tomorrow night, where Matt and Gabriel will be performing once again. I think tickets are still available and available at the door as well, I think. So without further ado, thank you very much.
So yeah, the CAC is in Kirkland Lake. I created this committee, and it's already in the 15th year. And the gala, this is the 7th gala. We stopped the gala during the COVID, but this is they're starting already. So tickets are available, 17 left, you can get them on the door. We are going to perform tomorrow again there. And we have also the dances from Rhythm and Motion, and we have a great band. So, thank you very much.